Hey guys, Revell here with Revell Modeling, coming at you guys with another video. In today's video, we'll be taking a look at Revell's 1/48 scale PT17 Kaydet, better known as the STEARMAN. As always, we're going to start off with the cockpit this time. The difference in the cockpit than normal is that the cockpit is of a tubular design. Therefore, it goes further back along the whole entirety of the aircraft. This adds for a little bit more realism, and I honestly think it's kind of cool. What I did once I got all the parts off the tree was I assembled them, and then I sprayed them in a Tamiya dark green color. Once finished with the construction, and once the base coat was dry, I then started on my detail painting of the stick, the rudders, the floor, and the fuse box, along with the seat belts. The seat belts were molded in detail and did not have to be fabricated. Once done with the framework, I then moved on to the fuselage halves. The fuselage halves on the inside have all the framework done for the longerons. I first decided to paint it with a light coat of a light gray, and then I hand painted all the longerons. As you can notice, the plastic is also a yellow color. I really do not like weird colored plastic. Every time I've had to deal with some weird colored plastic, the paint job has not come out the best. Just be warned that this does have that weird colored plastic. However, there is a civilian version that I've also built, and it had the gray plastic. Why they went with this color for the plastic on this version, I don't know. Once I was finished with that, I then put the two halves together. The two halves went together okay, and there was a little bit of a seam down the middle, just behind the rear seat. Once done, I then installed the instrument panels onto this turtle deck area. The decals were okay. They didn't really fit the best, and they didn't really adhere to the instrument panel the best. So if I had the option to go back again, I would go back and hand paint the instrument panels. When attaching that turtle deck area, you can see where a little seam was made. It required just a minimum amount of putty to fill that seam. Also, be very aware that there are raised rivets on that section as well. Now we're getting into the fun stuff. Firewall forward. This is by far one of my favorite parts to work on. Unfortunately, the engine mount was broken and split in half when I started this kit. It was an easy fix, just requiring a little bit more glue on the center point of the ring where it split. Once I had the oil tank behind that attached, I then went ahead and glued the engine bracket itself onto the firewall. Due to the nature of this aircraft's construction, I decided to paint the aircraft before all the final assembly parts. So I painted it with all Tamiya colors, with their blue and their lemon yellow for the wings. Now we get to move on to the engine. I had a lot of fun with this engine, as I started off painting it with a Tamiya dark iron, and then dry brushed it with a Tesser's flat aluminum. Once I had done that, I then painted the center in an eggshell gray color, and then I took a lot of little bits of metal soldering wire, and I glued it to where the molded in detail for each spark plug on the front cylinder is, and led it around towards the back of the cylinder head. However, as you can see, the engine never actually aligned with the exhaust plumbing when it was attached to that forward firewall position. Time to give this plane a little bit more personality and the ability to fly. This next step was to put the wings on, and then once the lower wing section was on, I started my decaling. With the decaling done, it was time to add the upper wing and the wing struts. I didn't use a jig, but it came out pretty straight, and it came out decently. I'm real happy with the end results. Thanks for watching, and as always, model on.